effectively trying to throw, but also keep it close. But like,
yeah, same.
kind of hard.
Bolem.
I saw him. I saw them turn white, like turn to leader. Immediately triggered.
Crazy.
Was it a general chat or?
No, it's the feedback thread. Oh, I hit that shot. What's poppin', Guardians? A long time ago, I really wanted to bring out the most out of Stasis Titan, as it received so many different buffs over time and so many adjustments that really made it really shine out against other subclasses, especially that Prismatic has basically died for PvP because of the so many drawbacks and nerfs, which one of them being Diamond Lance was very much requested by myself and many others in the community. So how did we really want to bring back Diamond Lance in the best way possible? So what exotic rewards you for getting chain kills? Icefall Mantle, because it's going to spawn you stasis fragments, which you can then use for frost armor in order to stay a little bit longer in the fight. Let's go over some clips before we get into the build breakdown.
No, I tried. It's not even there. Yeah, it would be really cool though.
Now, for starters, you'll be wondering, why Icefall Mantle? Why not other things like One-Eyed Mask or Dune Marchers? Well, I'm not telling you that you can't use those other exotics. Those other exotics are clearly so much more better than Icefall Mantle. It's just that if you want the best possible synergy, Icefall Mantle is a very great contender. It already is something that's very nasty in PvE, and I will honestly recommend it a lot, especially if you have a lot of fun with stasis. But in PvP, It's a little bit differently, and also Frost Armor isn't as super effective, but it's still something that's really great. Plus, Icefall Mantle does one thing that other exotics do not do, and it completely changes up your ability, your class ability. It replaces your class ability with a burst of stasis energy that freezes a nearby combatant, slows nearby opponents, and grants increased Frost Armor, which just goes straight to your maximum armor that you have, which if you have the fragment is times 8 instead of times 5. However, my most fun factor is you can do something like this. And then hence you can even use it as a pseudo Wormhusk mask for the Titan. It's not as super effective for healing, but it is something. It also gives you that Frost Armor so you stay a little bit in the fight a little bit longer. However, this does work while you have Rapid Stasis Final Blows will give you Frost Armor. 3 seconds to be exact. I will be showing here in the screen the exact details. However, that's where the subclass itself is going to be the main helping hand in order to constantly generate the stasis fragments, then up to your Diamond Lance. So before we go into the subclass itself, because that's going to be a lot more details, a lot more talking points that we're going to be needing to go over, the armor mods, which are going to change in Edge of Fate, so keep that in mind. It's going to be quite differently in like 2 months. You're going to want to use stasis. So triple harmonic aim, harmonic targeting, or whatever combination, whatever you're using for your energy, which I'll then explain why I like Icebreaker a lot more, and harmonic siphon just because I'm out of space, otherwise you use targeting, dexterity mods, stasis weapon search, which is actually really good because it gives you a nice edge over the damage caps that are going to be going on for your weapons, specifically stasis. Recuperation just because you get health for each orb, elemental charge because you actually will be picking up stasis shards very often, so you will be needing that for research to make it a lot easier. Reaper because it's perfect because of Icefall Mantle. It's going to be a better way of having Reaper active. Powerful attraction and outreach because your melee is the most valuable thing in your kit, and you'll see exactly why later. Now real quickly, again, the weapons are going to be the main bread and butter. Bring out your best stasis rolls, bring out your best stasis weapons. My final preference was the Yarovit with Strategist and Desperate Measures because it's perfect for this build. Desperate Measures makes some incredible TTKs after 1 stack, which is just a kill, or 2 stacks, which is just a melee kill, which will work perfectly with your Diamond Lance and with your stasis melee. Strategist, which improves the recharge time for my class ability, therefore I proc Icefall Mantle so much more often. Slammer, great because stasis weapon with Ear Edge is really great because it also counts for your stasis weapon kills in order to get your Diamond Lance a lot easier. However, Icebreaker, if you're seeing already in my clips, damn does it make it a lot of fun to not only not have to aim for the head, you just go for the body, but even your stasis crystals that you create, you can even blow them up to be able to get potential team wipes or just a lot of damage on the board. It's really, really good, and honestly, if you haven't used it in PvP, do so. It's really great. My favorite aspect, I don't have to reload. It just generates ammo from the effects of ice breaking, which is hitting targets with has a chance to return ammo, let alone too just getting kills is going to make me get ammo. So I'm really interested in what's going to happen with the special ammo meter for this weapon, but I think it's just going to be the same exact thing. So I'm definitely ready. I'm prepared for not only PvP but for PvP, PvE. Okay, so I'll be doing the subclasses a lot more differently this build around because I'm gonna need the info that's in DIM, specifically the community insights, because if you see the descriptions of a lot of things in this game in Destiny, they're not very clear on what they are, especially things such as like stasis weapon final blows have a chance to create a stasis shard. First off, there's no chance, it's just an escalation. And second, you would think, oh, well, it works better if you use Whisper Chains, because while you have Frost Armor, the chance to create a stasis shard, right? And you get +10 recovery. No, for whatever reason, this is better, and it's very silly. But before the fragments really make it very confusing, let's begin with the aspects, because Tectonic Harvest is something that makes stasis really outshine other things in the game, because stasis shards, when you spawn them, don't just spawn for you, they spawn for allies. And that's great, because if you have other allies who have great melee builds, which is going to be very important in Edge of Fate, then this is going to be the best support or best like big alley-oop you can give for your teammates. And while your Tectonic Harvest is equipped, you get Frost Armor for picking up stasis shards. And this is really easy to build because you're going to get Diamond Lances super often, which is going to make it so you can spawn stasis shards just all the time. Like, you just spam the field with it. It's great. It's fantastic. Cold Snap Grenade is another option, but you can also use Glacier Grenade. But I really like Cold Snap because if someone's rushing me with the shotgun, because I'm not using the shotgun, I just put this straight to the ground and they're going to freeze. And not only they're going to die and I get my Desperate Measures active, they're going to spawn the Diamond Lance. And I can just get the next follow-up kill and just keep on going and going and going. Shiver Strike. I cannot stress enough, this thing is amazing. It does so many things, so many. But there's also a tech with Icefall Mantle, and the reason why behind it is that if you pair it up Shiver Strike with Whisper Reversal while you have Frost Armor, melee damage slows your target. If you hit someone and they fall right in a perfect angle, the explosion and delayed stasis is gonna cause them to instantly freeze. Let's roll the footage and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. If you hit them while you have your Icefall Mantle proc, so you get your Frost Armor, and you hit them in the right angle, and they're just flying either straight to a wall or something that causes them to still keep on going down, they're gonna freeze, and they're not ready for it. A lot of people don't know this, let alone didn't even know this is an interaction that exists. So it's really interesting that this is something you can use with yourself. However, Shiver Strike itself is really strong, and it is also a great finishing move because to get someone low, you can just chase them down with Shiver Strike, punch them, and you get your Diamond Lance, and you keep on going on a spree. Rally Barricade is fine, but it doesn't really matter because the cooldown is evened out, and so you're gonna want to make sure that it just has a good choice on Rally Barricade. This might change with Edge of Fate, so just keep Rally Barricade as is the potentially the lower base cooldown. Oh boy. Okay, fragments. Whisper Refraction. Dealing slowed or frozen targets grants you class ability energy. This is a great ability, especially for the build that we're running. It does work quite differently because it does vary on the type of tiers that you're going to be killing. So if you are defeating enemy players, you get 15%. And it kind of really depends on the scalers that you're getting, as it is mentioned below, which then again is going to change in Edge of Fate. So just keep that in mind. You're getting about a fifth or a sixth of your energy when you're getting a kill on anyone that's slowed or frozen via Diamond Lance or just any type of slowing that you can do. I did mention Whisper Reversal. This one is less complicated because Frost Armor melee damage slows your target, so that's great. Icefall Mantle basically means any of your punches and any punches the opponent does to you will cause them to slow. This is great because that means that Knockout Titans can't reach you. Hunters can't bullshit you with their punches, or even Warlocks can't even reach you with the link because they're slowed down by your Frost Armor. So if you have Frost Armor active, you're actually an advantage in the melee fight, so just keep that in mind. You'll notice it a lot often when you're running this build. Whisper Rhyme is something we can go over real quick too, because your Frost Armor has increased duration and maximum stack count. So it just goes from times 5, I believe 10 seconds to then 12 seconds on per stack, and the maximum count is 8. So it does also brings up your damage reduction that you have, and yes, the damage reduction actually does work in PvP, and it's great. It's cool. Whisper Torment is going to be one of our lineups where it's going to be complicated because they works in 2 different ways. You gain grenade energy each time you take damage. Having Frost Armor increases the amount of energy gained. This is where we're going to have to look into it, because receiving damage from this enemy grants 7% grenade energy. This increases to 12% when Frost Armor is active. Little does a lot of people know, there's a cooldown each time you take a hit. So if you're constantly getting hit, you're not going to feel the damage. This kind of works really nicely with like if you're in and out of engagement, so you just get hit once, get out of the engagement, then get ready. You're gonna see a lot of spikes in your grenade energy. But if you're just constantly getting hit, then it's not a good thing. You're not gonna really see this in effect. So it's also very tricky too, because you're gonna want to have Frost Armor, and you either get that from Stasis Shards or you're gonna get that from your Icefall Mantle for Frost Armor immediately. So just take this as a grain of salt. It's a great fragment. You're just not going to notice it that often, and if you're running different grenades, then it is going to vary on this cooldown, because you can use Dust Field, you can use a Glacier Grenade. However, again, Cold Snap is really great for shotgun rushers, but it just kind of varies on the grenade, so it may also change in Edge of Fate, who knows. And now my dreaded one, Whisper of Chill. Stasis weapon blows have a chance to create a Stasis Shard. Well, how does that work exactly? It's kind of weird, because getting the kills is just an escalating chance. So you have a progress bar, right? And each time you get a kill, that progress bar rises. If it's just a PvE ad, then it's about a third of that bar. It's a player, it's 67%, so 2/3, and mini bosses or higher is a whole it's a spawn shard. So with players, it's actually every other kill. So there's actually a little mini game you can play. Your first kill with your stasis weapon isn't going to spawn anything. Your second kill is going to spawn a stasis shard. Your third kill is going to spawn the Diamond Lance. So you get a little good idea, and you kind of feel that old Call of Duty kill streaks happening, because you're going to have an idea when your next Diamond Lance is going to spawn, as long as you're not constantly going over the limits, because you can then go get another kill again, which will spawn a stasis shard. But the likelihood of that is, because you're gonna kill with your Diamond Lance, you're not gonna have that happen. So you'll be able to see kind of a little mini progress bar going on. But the main idea about Whisper Chill is that it's gonna be giving you a Stasis Shard, which then procs your Frost Armor, which then procs your other effects on your whole kit, and it gives you a good glimpse on when your Diamond Lance is gonna be spawning next. Oh my god, I'm out of breath. This video is, I would say I'm overcomplicating it, but it is something where at first glance, I just wanted to bring the most out of Stasis Titan, and it ended up just being a massive rabbit hole to the point where this is a build I'm gonna run often. This is a build I want to see improve, and especially with Edge of Fate, where we're gonna have a lot more build options, then I'm gonna very much keep in mind that I want to use this probably in higher competitive or somewhere along the lines of 6v6s or Iron Banner, because of how well it actually works. It's cool, it's great, it's very chill. I'm done with those jokes. Cool. Anyways, take it easy, Guardians.